president will not return, or that his political movement, which is still very strong, will not once again take power in the United States?
Well, we just have to demonstrate that he will not take power by, if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
Well, that was President Joe Biden last year saying the quiet part out loud, as he often does. Members of his own party will do whatever it takes to make sure former President Donald Trump never becomes president again. And Democrats are living up to that promise. There also may be a plan in place to silence the former president from speaking out publicly in his own defense. According to the Daily Mail, Trump's legal team may be planning for the judge in his Manhattan case to place a gag order on him. According to this report, the gag order may be issued today. They are also reporting that the Trump legal team may be adding a First Amendment lawyer to their team as an effort to combat this potentially unconstitutional move. This gag order would mean that the president cannot discuss the case, and if he does, he could trigger a $1,000 fine and be sent to prison for 30 days. Now, after Trump's arraignment on Tuesday, he is expecting to fly back to Mar-a-Lago, where he plans on speaking. If a gag order is in fact introduced, that would block the president from issuing any form of defense tomorrow night. Now, who is the judge that may be potentially censoring the former president? His name is Judge Juan Merchan. He is also an acting New York Supreme Court judge. If the name sounds familiar, well, that's because he was the judge that oversaw the Trump Organization trial as well. He also was the one that sentenced Allen Weisselberg to prison. President Trump wasn't thrilled when learning Judge Merchan was handling this new case. In a Truth Social post, he said, quote, "The judge assigned to my witch hunt case, a case that has never before been charged, hates me." Trump goes on to say that the judge was handpicked by Bragg and the prosecutors, which does happen quite often. Now, after making that post, Trump's attorney went on to CNN and tried to smooth things over with the judge.
Will you ask for a different judge?
Well, I just said we have to get the indictment, and then we'll evaluate every single legal maneuver. I have no issue with this judge whatsoever.
Well, your client does. He says that
has a very good reputation. Well, my client has a right to have an issue with everything. He's been politically persecuted. Make no mistake about that, Dana. Whether you're on the right or the left, or you're a supporter or detractor of Donald Trump, this should really bother you. This should really shake the core of what we believe our justice system should be about. It should not be weaponized to go after political opponents.
So you don't believe this judge is biased?
He's lashing out because he's the victim. I have no reason to believe this judge is biased. I've not been before him on this matter.
Well, joining us now to discuss is a man who knows a thing or two about